Welcome you to Gridiron Glory's second edition of our halftime scoreboard on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in week 8. Now let's begin with our early games. We had Louisville hosting NC State. I thought that would be a very close game, but instead Louisville thrashed NC State 54-13 as the Wolfpack falls to 4-3 and 1-2 in the ACC. And number 7 in the country, Louisville, moves on to 6-1 overall and 4-1 in the SEC. Then we had another fun one that I was tweeting live about. That was Wisconsin and Iowa. The Badgers ended up getting the win 17-9 and took the Heartland Trophy back to Masson. And this win for the Badgers sets up a very intriguing matchup next week between the Badgers and the Cornhuskers at Camp Randall, which is home for the Badgers. And in our CFB big picture, I said that I thought that Wisconsin is the best team in the Big Ten West, and they will win the Big Ten West. Now, we'll talk about where Nebraska is currently at right now, but I am really confident that Wisconsin will win the Big Ten West. I think next week against Nebraska will be close. But once again, I've got to go with Wisconsin. Now let's take a look at your live game updates, and we'll work our way up to our feature game. Let's start with number 24, Navy, taking on Memphis and Annapolis at home for the Midshipmen. They're 4-1, currently 3-0 in the American Conference, and they did a great job today so far. They're beating Memphis, who is 5-1 overall and 2-0 in the American Conference right now, 21-14. Very, very exciting game live on the CBS Sports Network. And then we're going to take a look at number 22 in the nation, UNC, taking on Virginia. That's on the ACC Network Plus, and UNC getting the job done right now at 4:50 in the third quarter. UNC up 21-7. Not quite the blowout that I expected, but it's a blowout. And UNC, I assume, from right now at least, will move on to 6-2 and 4-1 in ACC play. Then we have number 20 in the country, Western Michigan, playing Eastern Michigan. I said on our podcast earlier that this, in my opinion, was the hardest game left on Western Michigan's schedule, and they're doing a great job right now. But Eastern Michigan's keeping it close. It's 24-17 at the half. And remember, the only reason Western Michigan's ranked is that they're 7-0. If they continue on that streak, they win out like I think they will. You should see them in a New Year's Six bowl game at least, but maybe even getting a little bit into that CFP conversation. Of course, there's so many other great teams. I don't think it'll happen, but you should see them on New Year's Six bowl if they keep it up. And then we have number 12 in the nation, number 19 in the nation, Utah, taking on UCLA at the Rose Bowl. And UCLA currently on top. They're 3-4 and 1-3 in the Pac-12. While, of course, Utah is 6-1, 3-1 in Pac-12 play. They're currently leading 21-17 with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second quarter. That's an exciting one right there. And then we have at halftime currently number 12 West Virginia facing TCU, and they currently lead 21-10. And if they get the win today, they'll move on to 6-0 and 3-0 in Big 12 play. Then we have number 8 in the country down. Nebraska down to 3-3. Purdue. And Purdue's only 1-2 in the Big Ten. Nebraska's down 14-10. That would be a colossal upset for the Purdue Boilermakers. It really instills some confidence into that program. And next week, Wisconsin's got to be happy with the way things are going. I assume they hope Nebraska wins and get higher in the AP Top 25, but you know, it should be it'll be somewhat close, I think. But I've got Wisconsin decent, pretty big. I'm pretty confident in that Wisconsin pick right now. And then let's move from number 8 in the country to number 3 in the country in Michigan. They are just taking care of business at the start of the third quarter. They're up 31-0 against Illinois. That intriguing matchup between Jim Harbaugh and Lovie Smith. Well, I think that was just a mask for how big of a thrashing this would be against Illinois for Michigan. Now, Coles thought that Michigan would exceed their total against Rutgers of 78 points. I don't think they will. I think they'll get a little bit lower than that, but nevertheless, very good, high quality, number 3 team in the nation. And Michigan is number 3 for a reason. And let's end off with our only top 10 matchup of the day, and that is Alabama taking on Texas A&M. Alabama currently leads 13-7, and Cole picked Texas A&M in this game. I went Alabama because they just have everything stacked in their favor. They should be up by a lot more than what they are up by. It's just not even close when it comes to play. Although your score is 13-7, and let's tell you where you can find all these games. We'll start with UNC and Virginia. You can find that ACC Network Plus. You can find Eastern Michigan and Western Michigan on ESPN3, or in other words, watch ESPN. You can find Texas A&M and Alabama over on CBS. You can find Illinois and Michigan over on the Big Ten Network. You can find Purdue and Nebraska on ABC or ESPN2, depending on your market. You can find Memphis and Navy on the CBS Sports Network. You can find TCU and West Virginia on ABC or ESPN2, depending on your market. And you can find Utah and UCLA live right now on Fox. And let's just take a look at the rest of our top 25 slate. At 6 p.m. Eastern, it's going to be number 17 in the country, Arkansas, heading out to the Plains to face number 21, Auburn. Can't wait for that one. Cole picked Arkansas. I picked Auburn. And then we have Oregon State and Washington. We both picked Washington there. We have Houston, SMU. We both picked Houston there. And the start of the Washington game will be 6:30 p.m. Eastern. That'll be on the Pac-12 network. The start of the Houston game will be at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And then whiteout at Beaver Stadium. One of the greatest traditions in all of college football. But will it be enough to stop Ohio State? Number 2 in the nation, coming off of a huge overtime win in Camp Randall. Cole, believe it or not, says yes. But I say it's crazy. I think Penn State does keep it close for about quarter, if that, but then Ohio State pulls away. They win by at least 17 points. JT Barrett's just too dynamic for Penn State to handle. Then 8 p.m., and that's on ABC, Saturday Night Football on ABC at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then we have Oklahoma taking on Texas Tech on Fox at 8 p.m. Eastern. We've both got Oklahoma there. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, when Cole will take over the tweeting, it's Ole Miss taking on LSU, number 23 in the country, and Ole Miss, number 25 in the country, in LSU. And tomorrow we'll have a recap of all the college football games, and we'll have our preview and picks of all the NFL games coming up, including the Monday Night Football game. And for the rest of your weekend, we're going to have live tweeting. We'll start out with live tweeting. We started out with live tweeting today for college football. We'll be bringing you all of that. And we'll be going on to some NFL tomorrow. And on Monday night, when Cole will be taking over. Cole will help us with the 1 p.m. Eastern slot tweeting tomorrow, the primetime slots on Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night. And then we might also have him on Friday night tweeting duty. I might be on that duty as well. And then also Saturday night tweeting duty. That's up to Cole. Also, in other weekends, we will split it more fairly because Cole is currently out out fulfilling family commitments. So we thank you for this presentation of the Gridiron Glory College Football Halftime Scoreboard. We hope you enjoyed the rest of your college football weekend. And thanks for watching. Please follow us at the Football Kids. That's at the Football Kids. And check out our blog at gridironglorysportsblog.weebly.com. Thank you for watching.